Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. And today we have two fantastic lineup guests with us, each bringing unique insights and expertise to our discussion. And I would like to introduce Jessica Coen from U.S. Mortgage Corporation, your mortgage Sherpa, and the Vegan Realtor to you. Today we will be focusing on Understanding the Basics Part 2, and we are focusing on VA loans. I like to start with Jessica first. Jessica, you had mentioned in our last discussion that VA loans are very dear to your heart, and I would like you to expand on that, but also I would like to ask you a few questions about the qualifications of VA loans and those that are looking to use that type of loan to buy their first home. What are the specific eligibility requirements for a VA loan, and what is the documentation that is needed to process it?
Hi, Beverly. Hi, Taina. So good to be with both of you here. VA loans is one of the best products out there, if not the best, right? So like a normal loan, you need to qualify with your income, your credit, your assets. But in addition, we need to make sure that you are eligible for VA to get your entitlement, because VA loans have no down payment, right? So the first thing that we need to establish is that you are eligible, that you have your certificate of eligibility. Now, the lender can help you obtain this certificate, or the veteran can call the VA directly and obtain their certificate of eligibility, because it's going to give us all the information that we need to know. And upfront, we do this at the pre-approval stage, because you don't want to get someone in a contract thinking that they qualify for VA to find in the middle of the transaction that they don't. So at the pre-approval stage, we always ask the question to our clients: did you serve in the military? Are you a veteran? Because it is a great product for them, and we want them to take advantage of that, right? So we will need your pay stubs, your income, your pay stubs, your W-2 if you're still employed. If you're receiving VA benefits, we will need the letter, your award letter from the VA. And very important, that certificate of eligibility. We are going to do a pre-approval like we do for anybody else. And we are going to run it through our system under the VA program and let you know if you're eligible for VA.
Okay, great. What are the potential challenges or pitfalls associated with VA loans when a client is in the middle of applying for it? What are some challenges that they can meet?
Okay, so I'm going to throw it out there. The biggest challenge is misconception in the market, right?
Yeah.
Realtors, brokers, even lenders not knowing the program and closing that door to our veterans, which is shameful, right? Mm-hmm. Because VA loans, yes, they require other characteristics, but from a lender perspective, we process them as we are processing any other loan. So it doesn't matter if it's VA, if it's FHA, conventional, what it is. So the misconception is the biggest hurdle, trying to get offer accepted under VA. And I get that this is coming from the past. In the past, yes, I come from the school that I never did VA loans. Mm-hmm. In Puerto Rico, I wouldn't touch them because the bank wouldn't understand them. And VA has come a long, long way. And if you are with a lender that it is well-versed, right, and know how to close these loans, we're talking about a process like any other process. Some realtors are concerned about the appraisal. I was trying to look for pictures of a property that we closed under VA just to show you the condition of this property. Luckily, this realtor in that transaction, he was very open. We closed that. Other realtor, I'm not waiting based on my experience, would have been, oh no, this is not going to pass appraisal. You're not an appraiser. Actually, VA has a process, an easier process when it comes to appraisals, as opposed to conventional loans or FHA loans. And here is Taina. We closed a VA loan for her brother, which I do appreciate when one of my real estate partners refer me her brother, that's a big honor to me, right? And we were able to process that loan and close it, and he's a happy homeowner.
Oh, that's great. Wow. Um, Now I'd like to get, since you mentioned Taina, I'm sure that Taina was able to refer her brother to you because of that trust component. And that was a big discussion we had about trust and being able to trust your loan officer and as well as other point of people in the process. Now, how important is trust with your client when working on processing a VA loan? You have mentioned a little bit about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Specifically, it's very important that the client and the realtor, both of them, feel comfortable that this is something that can be done, right? Because especially in New York, and Taina can tell you, when you have a pre-approval under VA, you are ready to go to battle. Because realtors are gonna be like, no, VA, no. And the realtor needs to feel confident that it has to be that trust that, no, if she's giving me this pre-approval under VA, is because she did all her homework up front and we're going to close on this loan. Because the last thing that, in this case, Taina was representing her brother. And it's a big deal. It's not only her family, it's her client too. So it's two responsibilities. And we need to also have that understanding that they can come and ask questions, because they are going to be they're going to get so much information out there that might not be true, might be misconceptions. So your client needs to feel very comfortable that you are doing the best for them, that you know this program, that you know what steps need to be taken to take him successfully to the closing table.
Taina, I work with Taina. She has been my mentor throughout these years as I learned the practice of real estate. And she is known as the vegan realtor. She's been working in real estate for a number of years and has so much experience, but working with a relative that may be a little bit different. And on top of that, you're working with a relative that is going through the process as a veteran as well. So I would like to know a little bit about your experience working with your brother and going through the process of being able to make this transaction with a VA loan.
Okay, great. Well, hi guys. Just to piggyback off of what Jessica was saying about relationships and trust, that is crucial because yes, I had my brother. He trusts me, which is great, but he also has things that he's used to doing his own way. So when we started the conversation about home ownership, he was previously renting. He had already a pre-approval. So, and this is what happens with veterans. Sometimes is that they get an email from an association or from wherever that's offering them, the moon and the stars. And of course, you're going to think, yeah, absolutely. Let me try. Let me, fill out this application and see what they can give me. Now, because I have been in real estate for so long, I know both sides, both representing the buyers, both representing the sellers. My brother trusted me, so I was able to let him know that I have a team and not just a referral team that, it's great to say, oh, just use this person. I have a team in which I work with, in which we solve problems together. That's important because a lot of folks will say, I have a team, but it may just be someone they met at a networking event, not necessarily someone that worked in the trenches to solve the problems that do come up with not only VA loans, but loans in general. So because of his trust in me, he listened and he decided, yes, I'm going to sit with the person you're saying is going to help me get to the closing table. And of course, Jessica was the one. And, we had a great experience overall. On the bad part of the experience, my offer wasn't accepted. And I know it was because it was a VA loan. So I had to get creative. And I said, all right, we're in the middle of bidding wars. We're in 2021 where the market is just never been seen before, where there's so many buyers that there's just not enough inventory when there is a lot of inventory. So when I presented this offer, it was one of many. We lost. But 3 days later, the agent came to me and she said, one of the offers fell through. Are you still interested? And I took that opportunity to say, not only am I interested still, but we're going to go over asking price. And she was like, oh, really? So I got her bells and whistles going. And it was like, yes. But then, because for whatever reason, I'm not going to say she's inexperienced or whatnot, But her fear was the house appraising at the over asking price that we were offering. She's like, is it going to appraise? Is it going to appraise? And I said, you have nothing to worry about because I'm on this case and I have an amazing lender on this case. It will appraise. So don't worry about that. And she's like, okay. But throughout the entire transaction, which went pretty fast with Jessica, another misconception of VA loans is that they take forever and then they don't close. That didn't happen with my team, not with Jessica. We closed in a great time, actually faster than we anticipated. And the home did appraise. So everybody was happy.
So that seems to be a concern for buyers and sellers, the appraisal process. What I'm just curious, what makes it a little bit different with the VA loans versus the conventional loans, the appraisal?
Well, from my experience, it has to do with the lender. Because I've represented sellers where we've taken a VA loan on an accepted offer, and then we were stuck into that contract for 8 months because that particular lender, they weren't as great as Jessica. And it's not free solicitation, it's just the truth. I had to wait 8 months to close on a loan that should not take. No, there shouldn't be a single loan that takes 8 months to close on. But if you don't have the right lender, if you go with a union bank with a bad lender or loan officer in that union bank, then you're like me, offering all kinds of deals to my seller to keep them happy while we're waiting this length of time. So it's really important which lender you go with.
Okay. And I know that we've solved problems together, all of us. Even I've been able to ask Taina questions so when I need to, and I've worked with Jessica, and those loans have been processed in a timely manner, and we've been able to solve problems together. Now, the appraisal. Can you explain what an appraisal is?
Me or Jessica?
For those that are just a little. What do you mean the appraisal process? What's an appraisal?
Well, the appraisal is basically protecting the buyer on the purchase price. So if a buyer comes with a bank loan and says, I'm going to pay you $1 million for this house, and the bank comes in and says, no, I'm sorry, but this house is worth $800. We can't allow you to overpay. It's a protection for the buyer. But it also sometimes can be misconstrued to the seller side as, I don't want to lose any money. I don't ever worry about appraisals, and for my buyers, I always put, the offer is subject to appraisal to protect my buyers. And if I'm a seller's agent, listing agent, and I get that presented, I'm not afraid of it either way, because I'm okay to talk to the lender on the buyer side if they allow me to. It's all about relationships. And if you build great relationships and you guys learn how to solve problems together, you're unstoppable.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I encourage anyone that knows of a veteran, or if you're a veteran yourself and you're thinking about being able to buy a home, and this first-time home buyer process, you're in good hands with Jessica. You're in good hands with the vegan realtor, Taina. And you're in good hands with me because I work with both of them very closely. Please encourage your veterans, if they're thinking about it, to go and sell or buy a home. I guess it works both ways. And thank you, ladies. I'm really thankful for this opportunity to talk with you and get that valuable insight. And I hope that we meet again, maybe for our part 3 in understanding the basics. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And before we go, I just want to let you know, for the veterans out there or anybody that knows a veteran, U.S. Mortgage has no lender fees when it comes to veteran loans. So VA loans, we have no lender fees. And VA loans are not only to purchase a home. If you purchase a home and you're thinking of refinancing, we can also help. We can refinance these loans, and basically no lender fees with U.S. Mortgage. So contact Beverly, contact Taina. They know where to find me.
That's right.
And I'm here always to assist.
Yeah, thank you. And I just want to add to that as well. I love veterans as much. I love veterans, and I want every veteran to have a home. Like if it was up to me, I wouldn't even give them a VA loan. I'd be like, here's a house. Get it. You deserve it. But yes, we love veterans. We love to help them, and we want to save them. And that piece that Jessica just mentioned is so true. There's no charges. Unfortunately, a lot of the commercial VA sponsors that offer a lot of different things, they do charge. But if you don't know, if you're not with a seasoned realtor or with a seasoned lender that knows this, they're going to think they're getting the best deal when in fact they're not. And we're all about getting the absolute best to our veterans.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, ladies, again. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care.
And thank you, everyone out there. I hope that we could meet again for part 3 of Understanding the Basics.
Thanks.
Bye.